Well, hello there, my studio teacher friends. My name is Christina Whitlock, and I would like to welcome you to the Beyond Measure podcast. This show is built around the fact that spending time with other teachers is good for the soul. I always walk away from conversations with other teachers feeling energized and renewed in a way that I can't seem to achieve any other way. We truly are better together. Unfortunately, we also have ridiculous schedules and bizarre working hours, so it can be challenging to find time to spend together. That is exactly why I am here, serving as your anytime piano teacher friend, ready to share solidarity whenever your schedule allows. I'm so glad you're here. Let's get on with the show. You are listening to episode 255 of the Beyond Measure podcast. Okay, so hi. I'm back in your ears again after another unexpected podcast break. I feel like I had such a good run for 5.5 years of publishing episodes of this show almost every single week. And then came 2026. Phew. Consistency around Beyond Measure has been in short supply lately. And I know it's fine. This is a passion project of mine, and I am a production team of one. So I know it's justifiable to take time off. In light of my current season of life, it makes sense to take time off of the podcast. There are only so many hours in the day, and I'm trying to distribute my attention to the things that need it most. I know you get it. I guess I just really want to say that I miss you when I'm not publishing episodes. I really do. It doesn't make any sense, I know, but I feel connected to this community when you listen. This is absolutely a two-way street here. I record episodes and you listen to them. And both sides of that equation matter. And I'm just not fully myself when that symbiosis isn't happening. So here I am today. Behind the scenes, I have drafted 3 different episodes to release today, and none of them felt right. So instead, I want to offer up one simple reminder today. Are you ready? The kids are all right. The kids are all right. Our students are all right. In fact, they're better than all right. Here's what I'm getting at. As teachers, it's easy to fixate on problem areas, especially this time of year when many of us have performance events on our calendars. It's easy to be on high alert this time of year. But if we're not careful, we reduce our students to their weakest characteristics. We start to see Johnny as the kid who always plays too fast, or Sarah as the girl with the funky technique. And then there's Stevie, the boy who hates every piece of music we show him. And don't forget Molly, the one who always cries. Now, something I have said time and time again on this show is I don't want my students to see their playing as a problem that needs to be fixed. That's the trap I fell into for a long time with my own playing. I would end every practice session and every performance reflecting on the laundry list of ways I came up short. I thought that was the job of like a serious musician, was to constantly monitor my weaknesses. In fact, I was missing the whole point of making music, wasn't I? It's not a thing to be corrected. Music is communication, it's expression, it's sharing, and yeah, it's sharpening, but not at the expense of all the good stuff. We have to take in the whole picture or we're going to be miserable. Ask me how I know. And just like I don't want students to view their playing as a problem to be fixed, I don't want teachers to view their students as problems to be fixed. Your students are so much more than their weak areas. Maybe that sounds obvious, but I have to say, a lot of us, especially this time of year, reduce our students to their weakest points. We fixate on the things that they are struggling with, and we define them in our minds by how prepared they are for the upcoming performance event. Their lessons become akin to a game of whack-a-mole where we jump from one problem to another and we lose sight of the whole point of making music. And I get it. About 2 weeks before a performance, like clockwork, I always find myself feeling like everyone is losing their minds. We'll have been cooking along for weeks on a lovely timeline of preparation. And then there's something about that 2-week mark before a performance where I wonder if anyone's going to pull this thing together. Then, of course, the performance comes, their preparations pay off, students are glowing and families are happy, and all is right with the world. The kids are all right, friends, even when they have notable areas for improvement, even when their rhythm needs some work, even when they have memory slips or a lackluster performance, our students are all right. Again, they're better than all right. They have us. I guess I'm thinking about this because we just celebrated Mother's Day here in the US, and there is a lot of carryover from this teacher message into parent world. This has been my most challenging year of parenting to date, bar none. Pandemic lockdown was hard, really hard, but I think I preferred it to this year. My girls are currently ages 9 and 15, both ages that come with some big developmental milestones and emotional challenges, which means their peer groups are also experiencing those challenges. And since everyone copes differently, different things come out sideways sometimes. It's a lot for these young people at home, at school, everywhere. It's a lot for them, and it's a lot for the people trying to raise and nurture them. And I have to say, I have great kids. In so many ways, I have it easy. Except I don't think there's any such thing as easy parenting, especially when you have no control over how other children are parented. But anyway, I say that to note that if I'm not careful, it's tempting for me to fixate on my own children's struggles. And when you give a problem so much of your attention, you end up missing the person involved in the struggle. You miss 99% of what's going on in their life because you're only focused on that 1%. You forget that some things are going to improve naturally with age and environment and experience, and you just need to stay the course. You think the problems of today will always be problems, but that's just not true. The kids are all right. They need guidance, they need soft places to land, and clear communication to follow, but they're going to be okay. This is true of our children, and it's also true of our piano students. So, yes, identifying weakness is part of our job. It is our responsibility to help our students understand their need for improvement. But we also have to take a step back and look at our students through a multifaceted lens. We need to identify their strengths and their passions. What is surprisingly intuitive to them? What lights them up? Why do they keep coming back for lessons? What role is music playing in their life these days? What makes them feel proud? What is the biggest benefit you can offer them today as their teacher? What habits do you think they might outgrow? What changes are you seeing in them lately? And how will playing music age with them? These are all really important questions, and they're all equally worthy of our attention. If we only spend time problem solving their weak areas, we will miss enormous opportunities to guide them on this musical journey. So that's really it today, friends. A short and simple reminder that your students are all right. They are so much more than their weakest moments. The work you do extends far beyond how little they practiced or how difficult it is for them to stay put on the bench. Their musical experience will not be built or destroyed on one performance this spring. And by the way, the same thing goes for your reputation. Because let's face it, friends, one of the reasons we get so worked up this time of year is because we want our students to reflect well on us. We mistakenly make recitals and performances about us and how we are seen in our communities. I've been there, lived that, and I have to tell you, I was wrong. Those performance days are not about you. I drafted an entire episode on that very thing, for the record, but I actually think I'm going to save that content for our May 29th meetup of Teachers Teaching Teachers. If you don't know, I host a monthly meetup for Super Friends in my Patreon community. And this month, May of 2026, I'm actually hosting 2 meetings of TTT. One on May 15th and another on May 29th. It just feels like a 2-for-1 kind of month. So this week on Friday, May 15th, I will be sharing about some mistakes I made in assigning repertoire this semester. You may know that I pride myself in assigning each student just the right repertoire. And the majority of the time, I think I nail it. But this spring, I had 2 students really floundering with assigned pieces, and I want to talk about the oversights I made. We're only human, after all. It's going to happen, but I'm hoping I can help you avoid the same mistakes I did. Then on May 29th, I am going to share a recital recap with my super friends. I will be sharing my recital program, some big picture takeaways from the event, like the fact that recital day is not about us. And I'm also inviting members to share one recital piece that they love as well. Now, y'all know I consider myself a repertoire connoisseur, but anytime I do a group repertoire share in Teachers Teaching Teachers, even I come away with new pieces that I love. So you won't want to miss that one. So super friends, I cannot wait to hang with you twice this month. If you are not part of the Patreon crew, but you're interested in learning alongside the best colleagues you will find on the internet, check out ChristinaWhitlock.com/superfriends for all the information. Okay, so with all that said, let's wrap up today with a toast, shall we? Grab your glass and raise it with me now. Music teacher friends from all around the world. Today, we celebrate our students for the amazingly complex humans they are. We recognize they are competent, skilled, and resilient. Yes, they have much room for improvement, but we acknowledge the fact that their weaknesses do not define them as musicians. The kids, the students, are indeed all right. And for the record, so are their teachers. Hear, hear. That's it for today, friends. Take a deep breath, will you? Remind yourself of the incredible work that you're doing in your studio. Goodness exists even in the face of struggle. If you look for it, you will find it. Thanks so much for bearing with me on this wild production schedule I've found myself on lately. I hope to see you all in Teachers Teaching Teachers this month. And if nothing else, I'll be back next week with more teacher solidarity for you. Onward and upward we go, friends.